So I don't know if you know this about me, but I don't exactly like everything that I see.
No.
You don't say.
And when I do like something, it's really, really hard for me to love it. You know what I mean? Like when I rate things or when I rank things, nothing is a 10 and or a 5. Like if the scale is 1 out of 5, 4.5 is the best you're ever going to get out of me because I feel like there are flaws even in like perfection, you know? Like you think of a movie that's like, oh, that's a perfect movie. It's like, yeah, but not everybody will agree with you, you know what I mean? Like it's not like a unanimous decision like that is perfect, you know what I mean? So for the benefit of the doubt, 4.5 is as high as I go. And it's really rare for me to see one of those movies. That being said, I saw one of those movies very recently, and I'd like to talk about it because if you are interested in seeing a very, very well made film that, has a lot of charm and a lot of character, then I would like to recommend Belfast from 2021, written and directed by Kenneth Branagh, not starring Kenneth Branagh. And I got nothing against him. I think he's great. I think he's all around one of those just, well-rounded, talented people. But this film is actually semi-autobiographical for him. He grew up in Belfast, and the story takes place 100% like, yeah, like if ever a movie were to be called Belfast, it's this movie, like from the first shot to the last shot and everything in between. A lot of the people involved are from Belfast. Van Morrison did the music and has a bajillion songs in the movie, and he is from Belfast. Like it is Belfast in a movie. Pretty spectacular. I say that as a person who this movie is kind of custom designed for. You know, it might not be for everybody, but for me, it checked all the boxes. I thought about it afterwards and I was like, I can't think of anything I didn't like about that movie. The performances were really good. The writing was really good. And I believe he won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay, whatever that means. But, it's some kind of a merit and, testament to the writing. I thought the cinematography was exceptional and they did all natural lighting. So even on the interior stuff, and it's really it just has a very nice kind of stark, contrasty look to it. It's primarily in black and white, which I don't have a problem with, and sometimes I prefer it. So it was just a really nice little film. And I remember when it came out and I was really interested in it, I wanted to see it. And it was kind of one, in and out of theaters. And then it was available on, home media, but I caught it on Prime and I was very happy that I did because I missed it when it was on a couple of other things and it just didn't align with my schedule. And so watched it, really enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, I can't think of a bad thing about it. The main character is a young boy who is, the surrogate for Kenneth Branagh as a young boy, because he grew up in Belfast and then he moved to England and then, had his exceptional life. And there were a lot of really cool little things in the film, especially the way that when they did use color, how they used it. It was primarily relegated towards anything the character saw in the movie theater or on the stage in the theater, and then the opening and closing kind of visual montages, which were just of present day Belfast. So like it really just takes place there. But I really liked that approach to it because even when he was watching stuff on TV, it would have been a black and white TV. So those films and shows were still in black and white. But anytime he went to the theater, that was where you got that touch of color. And it just kind of like made it stand out in a very vibrant juxtaposition. And I just really liked how, I really like the impression that it had on the young boy, who is, of course, young Kenneth Branagh, but not, so a lot of things to really enjoy about this particular film.
I think one of the things I liked too was the reality of it. There wasn't anything fantastical about it. It was like the repercussions of just trying to make it, and the repercussions of trying to be like a good guy, not even a hero, just a good guy, and what that can cost you and your family and people around you.
Yeah.
So,
So the premise of the film, it starts off with these shots, these like sweeping drone establishing shots of Belfast present day, and like you see like the shipyard, like where they built the Titanic, and just all these little like local monuments, and then it kind of goes over a wall, and as it goes over the wall, it reveals the date as August 15th, 1969, and it transitions into black and white,
mhm,
and then you're following this young boy named Buddy, but it's like the day the Troubles started in Northern Ireland. And the Troubles is a kind of, well, it's a term for when, the Catholics and the Protestants threw down against each other, you know,
mhm,
sort of officially, but unofficially. And it was kind of like a little like mini civil war in Northern Ireland, kind of culminating in 1972 with Bloody Sunday. If you've ever heard the U2 song Sunday, Bloody
mhm,
Mhm.
Sunday,
mhm,
it's in regard to that. So for me, I'm Irish. I was raised Protestant. I married a Catholic. This movie really kind of spoke to me on a number of different levels. So like I was the target. And they hit it, you know.
mhm,
Other people, if you don't like black and white, I'm sorry for you. You're missing out on quite a bit. If you have religious hangups, I'm sorry for you. You're missing out on quite a bit. The themes in the film were really good. The messages in the film were really good. The relationships were really good. And I can't say enough good things about this particular one. I really enjoyed it.
yeah, and the other thing that with the black and white too, a lot of times when you see, like, some of the older black and whites, there's a, like, very deep contrast. Now that you bring up that it was natural light and black and white, that was one of the things that was interesting. It was, like, very lush. There wasn't dark contrast, although you had like, it was well lit, but it definitely came across a little differently than, like, some of your classic black and whites.
Yeah, this I wanted to see this. This was on my list when it came out. I was like, oh man, I hope we can get to the theater. It's one of the
Hmm.
movies my wife actually wanted to see. She never wants to see as much as I want to see. So the fact that she
Yeah.
Mhm.
was like excited about something, it's like, oh shit. And but like you
Mm.
said, it left so quickly, and up by me, sometimes those movies don't really make it to the theater.
Mhm.
So
Right.
yeah, so it's one we haven't seen. But now that I know it's on Prime, I'll make time with her to check that out. And yeah,
Oh, and one of the best parts was that it was only 96 minutes.
I like that.
Mhm.
It did not overstay its welcome. It was really lean, it was focused, but it was fulfilling. Honestly, I really enjoyed it, and I'm gonna tell everybody to check it out. This one for me is a 4.5, which, like I said, I don't disperse willingly.
On my side, I went with less heavy. We saw the Super Mario Galaxy movie in the theaters. That was fun. It's an entertaining film, it doesn't it's not gonna be like story the story is not gonna be as structured as something like Belfast, but it was fun. It has a great lineup of people doing the voices. You've got Chris, Pratt in there. Jack Black is always fun, Anya Taylor-Joy, but I think the 2 voices that I just like hearing would be Charlie Day. He's really fun. I'm happy that he's Luigi, and, anything he says is just fun to listen to. And then there was a character, I don't know, maybe halfway through the film, I was like, "Oh, I know that voice." And it was, Luis Guzman. And I love that man's voice. Like, anytime he's in a film, it's like, "Oh, my old friend?"
I can't go wrong with him, man.
It was just great to hear his voice. So I was hoping for a little bit more, from him, but yeah, like, I think we agreed, like, there's a lot of stuff that happens. There's, like, sort of a story. It's, like, kind of an origin story for Peach, sort of. You get, like, a beginning point, but you don't get a whole lot of meat to that story. But, like, it's entertaining. It was
It's
fun, so
it was nonstop action.
action.
Like if you
Yeah.
if you just want to see the Mario Brothers doing stuff,
Mhm.
this is the movie for you.
And
And
there's
I think that's
always
what like the target audience was for this, like kids who like loved the first one,
Mhm.
but just wanted to see more of Mario and Luigi, running around and busting heads and getting their heads busted a little bit too. They just wanted to see
And
action. And that's really what this film was, I think.
yeah, and if you play the video games, you get to see all like however they work in some of the video game elements. That's always fun.
This is where fan service is necessary. The people who've
Mhm.
been playing these games for 30, 40 some odd years, give them what they want. I'm not saying you can't
Hmm.
have a
Mhm.
story, but you give them what they
Mhm.
want. And so if the people are
Mhm.
going home like it's Mario 2. It's not Godfather 2.
Mhm.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
exactly.
if you go in there looking for your life
Exactly.
to be changed, your priorities are a little out of whack. So it
Yes.
is what it
Well,
is.
Yeah.
and not for nothing. I mean, if you play the video games, especially like the early video games, like what's the story?
Mhm.
Save the
You
princess.
know? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So on that note, they
Mhm.
kind of fulfilled, the expectations. Now, I'm not saying I would not have preferred more story,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
the action was good. It was well done. It was entertaining, and it didn't really drag. And it was also, I think it was around
Yeah, not at all.
96 minutes. That's like the magic number.
Yeah, and it's fun when, like, people in the audience there's definitely jokes that cater to a younger audience, and it's just fun hearing, like, kids laughing in the audience, like, they get it, and then there's jokes that, like, we all appreciate, and there's a couple of yeah, I think, like, if you play I'm assuming you played Super Mario, Steve.
I've dabbled in my day.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
There's a few scenes where, like, it's really fun how they incorporate it. It's not just, like, they built it into the world, but there's one scene in particular I think you'll really like where it's yeah, it's fun.
Oh, I just watched a new slasher I hadn't seen, came out last year. It's called Heart Eyes.
Mm,
It's by two of the guys who wrote Freaky, Happy Death Day, those types of movies. I like those movies a lot. So especially Chris Landon, I feel like I really enjoy his stuff. And yeah, this movie was no different. I enjoyed it. Not going to say it's like one of my favorite slashers or anything like that, but I thought it was something different. Even though it's a little derivative of Scream, but
Mm.
I mean, but it's purposefully done like that. It's part of the charm of this specific movie. This is it's almost like a romantic comedy, but the backdrop is
mm.
a slasher film. So there's some
Ouch.
fun stuff in there. Mason Gooding I thought was great in this. I really enjoy him. I've enjoyed him in Scream. I enjoyed him in this now. Even though it's two slashers, he plays very different characters. And the performances were good. Jordana Brewster's in this. She's very good. Devin Sawa's in this. So for a lot of the ladies who loved him in the 90s, you can check him out in this. Um, I think it was a very solid entry into the subgenre. I had don't get me wrong, I had some issues with the film. The biggest one happens at the very end of the film, which I will not give away because it will give everything away.
Mm.
It was just
Thank you.
yeah, it was just a choice that they made for one of the characters that for me was like, well, I'm following this person's story and the arc throughout the film, and then you make this one decision. I'm like, well, that was kind of abrupt. How
Mm,
Mm.
did we get there so fast?
Yeah.
mhm.
And I feel like I came up with a very simple switch. You could do the same things you did, but if you just switch one of the motivations, I think it would have been fine. But overall, it's fun. There's laughs, there's scares. It's fast paced. Um, it's if you enjoy slashers, if you enjoy horror at all or horror comedy, I think you'll like this movie. So I'm sure there'll be a sequel. Because
Cool.
there are always sequels with these guys, with these
Hmm.
Mhm.
with these horror guys. But yeah, if you looking for a fun time, some good laughs, a couple good scares, yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Well, speaking of fun times and a lot of laughs and some good scares, next week we're going to be talking about Big Trouble in Little China. So I hope everybody comes back to listen to that conversation. And those are the coming distractions for this month.